Hi everyone, it's Karen from Craftykarendesigns. Welcome back to the channel. I've been missing for a little while this month. Crafty Mojo seems to have disappeared. But anyway, I'm back today for the Stamp Around UK video hop. And this is a group of UK demonstrators who get together every month and all make a project on a theme. And this month's theme is a bit of a colour challenge. And it's 3 neutrals and a bright. So for anybody who doesn't know, Stampin' Up colours all go into different families. And we have a family of neutrals, brights, subtles, regals, and then we have 2 different sets of in colours that last 2 years. This set here will disappear in May time when the new catalogue comes out, and we'll get 5 new ones to replace these. But the neutrals are Merry Merlot, Early Espresso, Soft Suede, Crumb Cake, Sahara Sand, Grey Granite, Smoky Slate, Basic Grey, Mossy Meadow and Night of Navy. And I've chosen the 3 at the darker end. So the Basic Grey, the Mossy Meadow and the Night of Navy. And to add a bit of a pop to that, I've decided to put in Daffodil Delight as the bright. These aren't colours that I use an awful lot. I like Night of Navy and I do sometimes use Basic Grey, but these other colours I don't tend to use very often, and I don't really know why, but I just don't. So I had to rack my brains a bit to think of something to come up with. And I didn't have any Mossy Meadow card. I only had some of the I'm not sure, I can't remember what we call this. Stamping, let me have a look in the catalogue. We have this paper in all of the colours that we do, but I can never remember what it's called. On this page. With the rest of the DSP. There we go. It's just the designer series paper assortments, and it comes in brights, subtles, regals and neutrals, as well as the 2 lots of in colours. So I've got a piece of Mossy Meadow and I'm going to stamp using the Night of Navy, the Basic Grey and the Daffodil Delight, or I'm going to colour. I'm going to stamp or colour with those colours, and I'm just going to use this as a background. Let's move that out of the way. And I'm going to use the Hand Penned Petals stamp set because I really like it. And I'm going to use the Beautiful Shapes dies. And I'm going to use just this hexagon, the biggest one. But there's a series of layering hexagons. There's some small ones. There's a circular one with an embossed piece on it and some smaller ones to fit inside that. Some diamonds. So it's a really useful set. But saying that, all I've used so far have been the hexagons because I really like those. They remind me of patchwork quilts. I used to make patchwork quilts years ago, and I nearly always used hexagons and sewed them together to make a flower. So I'm going to use those to cut the image out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the image in Basic Grey on here. And I'm going to stamp it twice. So this is the biggest of the images, biggest of the floral images. I'm going to stamp it once up towards the top. And once stamp that the wrong way around, flip it over. I want the leaves at the top. Job paper's got 2 sides. I want that bit those two green leaves up at the top, or they will be green when I've coloured them in. And then this is the bit I want down here, and I want that about there. Okay, so we'll close that up. So then what I'm going to do, before I colour anything in, I'm going to die cut that one up there, and then this one here. So I've got the bottom of this one and a little bit here on this one. So to save time, I've already done that. And this is how it comes out, like that. So on the card, I'm going to sort of fit them together like that. So let's do some colouring and I'll show you what I mean. Now, I don't have stamping blends in all the colours, and I don't have ink pads in all of the colours. So I'm doing a bit of mixing and matching. So I've put the yellow one. So we'll start off with the Daffodil Delight. So what I tend to do is put the dark one on first. I'm not very good at colouring, as you all know. It's not my thing. So I'm just going to put a bit of dark Daffodil Delight in the middle and where these lines are, and a bit round the edges, get a little bit of shadow. I'm sure most of you are much better at this sort of thing than I am. I do try, but I never quite like what I've done. So a little bit on here as well, bit on here, bit on here. And then we'll get the light one and go over the top. So I hope you've all had plenty of Celebration products, because it's all over again. Until the next time. I've had loads and loads of stuff this time. Really, really liked all of the papers. And most of the stamp sets, to be honest. Wasn't keen on the pineapples, but hey ho, you can't like everything, can you? But I thought it was a really good selection this time. Nice mix of DSPs and stamp sets. So we're all starting to get excited now about the new catalogue coming out, because it won't be long. More new goodies to play with. I'll just blend a bit of that in again, just to highlight it a bit more. And I'm doing this quite quickly because I don't want you to sit here for ages just watching me colour, because that's quite boring, especially when I'm not very good at it. I'll do a bit with the green. These lovely leaves. And I've only got the light green, so I'm going to use the blender pens to put some dark bits in. I use the blender pens quite a lot because I haven't got an awful lot of stamping blends. And I know I could have used the fill-in bits on the stamp set, but I wanted to do it with to do with a bit of colouring and practice. So all the measurements for this card will be over on my blog, craftykarendesigns.blogspot.com, and the links to everybody else who's taking part today will be underneath, in the description box underneath this video. So to add the green, all I'm going to do with this blender pen is just dip it in and then just go over some of these lines. I'll go back over them to blend them in with this. So you can see it still works using a mixture of both. So if you ever haven't got a stamping blend, you can just use one of these, and all you do to clean it off when you've finished is just scribble it on a piece of scrap. Was that the end that I used? No, it was that end. Just scribble it on some scrap until it comes clear, and then it's ready to go again. And these come 3 in a pack, and I think they're really useful. So let's close those up before I put my fingers in them. And then I'm going to stamp the sentiment in Night of Navy. I'm going to stamp it here. Just wipe that excess off, which is not coming up. So I'm just going to line that up on the grid paper, and I'm going to stamp that there. So as you can see, I'm going to make this into a get well card. So let's start putting it together. So I've got a piece of thick basic white, which is 5 7/8 by 8 1/4, and I'll just score that in half at 4 1/8 to make the card base. And I'll just use some hand sanitizer to get this ink off my fingers before I put it all over. I knew I'd get ink on my fingers, I always do. There we go. So we'll give that a bit of a burnish. So we're going to add that on there. Should we stamp something on the inside too? I think we will. So just stamp the flower, I think, in the basic grey again. And we'll just stamp a little bit here. And then we can colour that in as well. It doesn't have to be perfect. bit of green. Oops, that's a bit of yellow. That should be a bit of yellow there as well. There we go. So we're going to adhere this to the front. Now, shall we use that side? Shall we use that side? Let's have a look. I think I actually like it better with the grid side, so we'll go for that. So I'm just going to put this on here using some multi-purpose liquid glue, which is my adhesive of preference. I use it for everything. I don't get on very well with stamp and seal and tape runners and things like that. Not that there's anything wrong with it, it's just I can't work it. So I'm going to have these on the front, like this. So I think I might put them on dimensionals. And I'm using up the edges of these dimensionals, get rid of them. Peel the backing off. I'll add that round about there. I'll add that one just about there. So there we go. I quite like that. I was really stumped when I looked at the theme for this month's video hop. I was thinking, what on earth am I going to do? And this morning I had a bit of a brainwave, or I think I had a brainwave. So I hope you like it. You could add another sentiment on the inside if you wanted to, but I think I'm going to leave it at that. So don't forget, all the information will be on my blog, craftykarendesigns.blogspot.com, and the link will be below. And if you go over to my blog, you can sign up for my weekly newsletter, which I send out with details of all the projects that I've made the week before and any news from Stampin' Up. There's details on there if you want to become part of my team, you want to join Stampin' Up, or you want to buy anything from the shop. My host code's over there too. And all the details for everybody else who's taken part, all the links to the videos will be in the description bar below. So please pop over and have a look at what everybody else has made too. Thanks very much for watching. See you again soon. Bye.